I'm gonna share a dream I just had this morning. It was really cool. So it started out, we were in this like silo thing, and it had metal staircases in it and a landing every once in a while. So I was with a group of people. My family was there, my immediate family, and one of my uncles for some reason. We were on this landing and we're in the silo. We're hiding out because the world outside is so wicked. And on one of these landings, like kind of in the middle, and the world outside is like really wicked. I don't know if I already said that. So that's why we're hiding out inside of this like place. So I have one of my kids with me. I'm like carrying them around, just taking care of them. And the feeling inside is like excited and hopeful, but also scared and also bored. And then there's like rumblings outside every once in a while. And then one of the times that there was rumblings, it was just constant and strong. So I would describe it like if you could put the silo on top of water and then the water was like boiling, it would be that sound of like boiling water, but then also the rumbling of boiling water. And since it didn't stop, I kind of wanted to see what was happening. So I have this child and we're gonna go look. So I open this door. It's like this metal door that's kind of heavy, and I look outside, and it was, I want to say comet, but it wasn't a comet. It was like a ball of like magnet, and like a ball magnet, but you can't see it. It's just magnet. So it's shooting across the sky, and as it's like full of this like green, like kind of like the Northern Lights, like that electrical energy or whatever you call it. So as the ball is coming across the sky, it's green, and it's leaving a trail of green behind it, and it's kind of spreading out, but only so far. It doesn't like fill the whole sky like top to bottom or anything, but it's definitely a trail. And so it's kind of like watching the Northern Lights, and it's just going across, and it doesn't stop. It just keeps going. And that's like what's making this rumbling sound. And so I closed the door because we watched for a little while, and it's like dangerous outside. That's what we're used to. So I closed the door, and as soon as I closed the door, I noticed there's like a dial. I want to call it a dial because it was kind of like a sundial type thing, but it was thin, it was very strong, it was made of gold, and it had like intricate designs like little gears of like a clock or something on the back of it. And it only had one hand though. Like it also looked like a clock, so the numbers were like a clock. I guess I would go this way for the the camera. So it was very close to 12 already. I just moved it a little bit further to the 12 marking. And then it was like the door became free. So it was kind of like a combination lock. Like it kept the door, it wasn't really locked though, because I opened the door before. So it was more like a feeling or symbolism than like actual. So the door became like free and unlocked, and it was like, now it became kind of broken, but not broken in a bad way. It was like broken, like it could never be locked again. And so then I opened the door after I put the dial to the 12, and the door like became free. And when I opened that magnet ball of Northern Lights, kinetic energy, is that what it's called? That's what I want to say. Anyway, it like smashed down into the ground like really hard, and then all of a sudden it was like Father Christmas was there. And it wasn't Santa. The words in my mind were Father Christmas. So he was very tall. He was like not too skinny, but he was skinny. And he was dressed in like glorious clothing. So it was like red velvet outfit, and then this really beautiful robe that went all the way to the ground, and it was made of red velvet, and it was like, instead of like white fluff trim, it was kind of like white, but it was decorated with the most beautiful details, and everything became Like in the world, the sky was bright and blue and it was beautiful. There was color filled everywhere. And before, when I looked outside, it was dark, it was desolate, it was like dead, like dirt, rocks, sagebrush, like no trees or dead trees. It was just, there was nothing like living outside. But then when he came, everything was alive and bright and colorful. And then everybody was coming out of their hiding places. And it was kind of like when you go to Disney and you're walking down all those roads, it was kind of like everybody was kind of walking in one direction. And there were like bathrooms everywhere. I say that because as I was walking, I had nobody with me all of a sudden. I didn't know where any of my kids were. I didn't know where any of my family was. And then I looked ahead and I saw my husband and my son and my daughter. They were walking together. And then I saw my uncle a little further behind, and he had a couple of my kids with him. And then behind that, there was like a family friend. Like I knew him in my dream, but I don't know him in real life. He was a family friend and he had a kid, but I don't know if it was his kid or just one of the other family friends. Like I think he was in the silo with us. So he was like holding out this kid like to the side and just like being silly or knew I was coming or something. I don't know. So I like grabbed this little baby, and then I noticed he was wet, like he had a wet diaper. So I handed him back to him. I don't know what this has, like, I don't know what meaning this has exactly. Like I knew what the rest of it meant, but anyway, so I handed back the baby and I was like, he's wet, he's like leaking. And he's like, oh, okay, I'll go change him. So there's like a bathroom right there. And so he said, wait for me right here. And I don't know, it was just like this moment where I had to decide, like, what do I do? Like, do I go find my kids or do I like trust that they're going to make it there? So basically there was no choice. I just had to trust that I taught my kids well enough to know where to go. And there was one son of mine, one of my younger sons, he was going backwards because there's this little girl that he says he's going to marry when he grows up, and he went back for her, and I was calling for him. I was like, you're going the wrong way. We got to go. Come on. He was not listening to me. He was like determined to go get her. So he seemed like he knew what he was doing. But it was just a lot of chaos, and like there was no time to wait to see if you could gather everybody. Like there was no way of finding everyone. I just had to trust that I had done my job, like taught my kids well enough to like know where to go and how to handle that. And then I just had to trust that once I got there, we would be together again and find everybody and be gathered. So anyway, it was a really cool dream. It was really exciting. It was great to have Father Christmas there. It was like he didn't have wrapped gifts like Santa does, but we knew that he had gifts for us, and we were just excited. The same way you're excited like on Christmas morning or something. But it was like more. Anyway, I don't think there's anything else I need to like describe or explain. I don't know what the whole diaper thing was. I don't know, but it was just exciting to have everybody come out of their hiding places. And then it was like Father Christmas, who represented Christ, was there. And I've had another dream where I saw Christ before, and he was tall. Like in my mind, I was imagining like saying like he's 11 foot tall, and he's like skinny, but not too skinny. He's just like strong. And that's like what the Santa was, like tall and like very tall and skinny and just dressed magnificently. So I don't know how to end this, but I'm gonna go.